Pauliusolino, how long are you going to stay in the hospital? The doctor has said that you can be discharged from the hospital. Sengoku rushed to Kazara's bed in a furious manner. No, Mr. Sengoku. My injury hasn't healed yet, Kazaru said with curled lips. The attack from Lucifer's monster is very terrifying. It's already very difficult for me to save my life. According to the current situation, it may take 3 months or even half a year to recuperate before being discharged. The doctor said that with Kazara's physique, he could be discharged from the hospital in 1 or 2 weeks and fully recovered in 1 or 2 months. But on this basis, Kazaru extended the time several times. Warring States looked at Kazaru with a salty expression. Yu's wretched appearance. The rage in his heart was burning, and he could no longer suppress it. Stop saying stupid things, Kazaru. You are an admiral, and there are many things waiting for you to deal with. There is not so much time for you to fish. Get up, old man. No, Marshal of the Warring States period. I am? Suddenly, Kazara's expression changed, and he quickly covered his chest. No way. The wound Lucifer left on me has opened again. Nurse, where is the nurse? I need emergency treatment, the personal kind. More than a dozen characters, appeared on Warring State's forehead. His fists were clenched tightly, and he wished he could kill the yellow monkey with one punch. He had never seen a naval admiral like Kazaru, who was so desperate to catch fish. He lost all face. Not only Kazaru, but also all the 3 generals under him gave him no peace of mind. Kazaru was a salty fish, Akiji was lazy, and Akainu was too radical. During the decades when he was a marshal, the Warring States period, his head is getting bigger. Damn it, I'm going to dye my hair again after this time. Several major events that have happened in succession recently have made Sangwa anxious, and his hair is turning gray faster. He only relies on hair dyeing to maintain his old and strong appearance. Okay, stop pretending. I have agreed to your request for a salary increase. Warring States suppressed the anger in his heart and gritted his teeth. Well, don't say that, Marshal of the Warring States period. My injuries are real. That monster Lucifer is very strong. In this mission, I almost lost my life. Speaking of Lucifer, Kazara's face became less vulgar and more solemn. Thinking of the monster that seriously injured him, Kazaru had to take it seriously. Okay, stop talking nonsense. I have already paid your work injury compensation. Warring States waved his hands and returned to his serious demeanor. I came to you this time to ask you clearly, what is Lucifer's ability? You have fought with him, so you should know best. When talking about business, Kazaru also put away his obscene expression and showed a serious look. Lucifer has many abilities. To be honest, I can't be sure what fruit he ate. However, I have a guess. After some conversation, Marshal Sengoku left the naval hospital with a solemn expression. As soon as he returned to the Navy headquarters building, he immediately ordered the adjutant to convene a meeting with the Navy's top brass. In the Navy conference room, many senior Navy officials arrived. Warring States is sitting in the main seat, with General Qingji on the left, Chief Staff He, and Lieutenant General Garp on the right. Many Navy admirals arrived. The atmosphere in the conference room was very serious. It was rare for Lieutenant General Garp not to eat donuts and cause trouble for Warring States. Hey guys, I just came back from the naval hospital. Let me tell you the good news first. Kazara's injury has almost recovered, and he will be able to return to work soon. As soon as these words came out, the senior Navy officials in the conference room all showed joy. The 3 admirals of the Navy are the Navy's highest combat power, and it is always incomplete without one. Now that Kazaru has returned, the strength of the Navy headquarters can be regarded as its peak. Secondly, the information about Lucifer obtained from Kazaru. During Kazaru's battle with Lucifer, he witnessed Lucifer using various powers such as flash, sword, gravity, and gravity. You must already know how powerful these forces are. Kazaru was not sure what kind of fruit ability user Lucifer was, but he got a guess based on Lucifer's fighting style. According to him, Lucifer would shout out the name of the move before every move. Kazaru originally thought it was a habit, but later determined that it was not a habit. Lucifer's abilities may be triggered by sound. Ability triggered by sound? Isn't that what only sonic fruits can do? Sound devil fruits are very rare. There is only one sonic fruit recorded by the Navy. Lucifer is not a person with sonic fruit ability. To be precise, his ability is more like speaking at will. Lucifer triggers his abilities through language. As long as he speaks, he can activate his abilities. He is very likely to be a person with the ability to speak the spirit fruit. Word spirit fruit? The hearts of everyone present jumped. Yin-Ling is a power that only exists in legends. It is more like a mythical story. In the legend, the god who created the world used the power of Yin-Ling to create mountains, rivers, land, sea, earth, water, wind, and fire, and ultimately built the entire world. He has the power to follow his words, can turn what he says into facts, can create things out of the void, and can control natural disasters. He is omnipotent. Marshal of the Warring States period, are you sure? Is Lucifer really a person with the ability to speak the spirit fruit? Some vice admirals don't believe it. In other words, they don't dare to believe it. With the word spirit fruit, you can speak words and turn things into facts. It's so unnatural. This kind of power should not exist at all. Demons, the existence of the fruit is already unbelievable, let alone such an unbelievable ability. Think about it. There is an enemy who can use all the powers that have ever appeared in the world as long as he speaks. Flash, thunder, fire, ice, magma, gravity, earthquakes, all powerful abilities. He can use them just by saying a word. How to defeat such an enemy? Just thinking about it, everyone present felt powerless in their hearts. Even the Vice Admiral of the Navy Garp and General Akiji's heads were buzzing at this moment. They had been traversing the sea for decades, but they could not think of any way to deal with Lucifer. Not only can Lucifer use a variety of natural disaster powers, he can also weaken the power of others. According to Kizaru, just saying a word from Lucifer can cancel his attack and reduce the speed and power of his flash by half. The only one who can be so defiant is the word spirit fruit. According to the information obtained so far, Lucifer cannot directly use the power of speech spirit to kill the enemy, which is the only good news. Haha, it can't be used to make people die directly. Can this be considered good news? The Navy executives present felt as if there were 10,000 grass and mud horses galloping past. The power of the word spirit fruit is already incredible. If it can directly make people die, then why fight? Just let the entire Navy commit suicide. Marshal of the Warring States period. Is there a way to restrain Lucifer? For example, the fruit of silence. A vice admiral put forward an idea, which brightened the eyes of the Navy executives present. Devil fruits are mutually reinforcing, and even if they go against the will of heaven, they will have the power to restrain them. Maybe a top fruit will be restrained by a very tasteless fruit. The silence fruit is just a very inconspicuous fruit, with very weak and useless abilities. The only ability is to eliminate sound, but it seems to be able to completely restrain Lucifer. As long as Lucifer's voice is eliminated, it will not make him unable to use it. Are you capable? Many vice admirals seem to have found a way to defeat Lucifer, and they were very excited. The silence fruit? Sengoku's expression was complicated, because when he mentioned the silence fruit, he couldn't help but think of that extremely kind person. His godson, Corazon. He was a man who maintained the purity of his humanity and cared for others no matter what the circumstances. Unfortunately, he died at the hands of his brother, Doflamingo. In his hand, he was the previous owner of the silence fruit. After Corazon's death, the silence fruit disappeared without a trace. To be precise, Lucifer triggers his abilities through language, not through sound. I'm not sure if the fruit of silence works. Moreover, the silence fruit has a certain range of action, and it must be close to Lucifer. But you have to know that even if Lucifer doesn't use his fruit ability, his own combat power cannot be underestimated. Just getting close to him is not an easy task. But you have to know that even if Lucifer doesn't use his fruit ability, his own combat power cannot be underestimated. Just getting close to him is not an easy task. However, the fruit of silence at least provides us with an idea that is worth trying. Ahe, after the meeting, immediately mobilized the intelligence department to pursue the news of the silence fruit. Warring States looked at Lieutenant General He and gave the order. Yes, I understand. Lieutenant General He nodded. Okay, that's it for today's meeting. If anyone has any other feasible solutions, please let me know as soon as possible. Lucifer has become a serious problem. His abilities are so incredible that any feasible strategy is worth trying. Faced with Lucifer's godlike ability, the Navy headquarters has to treat it with caution. Although it is stupid to cast a wide net to catch fish, Sengoku can only use this method at present. Many senior naval officials have left, and only Sengoku is left in the conference room, Crane and Garp. During the Warring States period, for Lucifer, the world's government should have other strategies, right? Lieutenant, he knows Sengoku very well. The fact that Sengoku left her and Garp alone has already explained the problem. That's right. The world's government wants to invite Lucifer to become a Shichibukai. For Garp and he, Sengoku has nothing to hide. Humph, it's true again. Although Garp is usually jovial and heartless, he has his own naval stance. He has never had a good impression of the scum of the Shichibukai. Lucifer committed a heinous crime and killed a lieutenant general in the Navy headquarters. There are 4 rear admirals and more than 5,000 naval soldiers. It is not an exaggeration to say that the Navy headquarters and Lucifer have a blood feud. However, while the Navy headquarters is trying every means to eliminate Lucifer, the world's government is trying to recruit Lucifer, completely ignoring his crime. For the Navy, this is undoubtedly a betrayal. For the Navy who died in the hands of Lucifer, it is a naked insult. They fought bloody hard to eliminate Lucifer and finally paid the price of their lives. But the world's government turned a blind eye to all this and instead wanted to recruit murderers. So what are their sacrifices? What is the meaning? Garp can imagine that once the news of recruiting Lucifer to become the Shichibukai comes out, what kind of commotion it will cause within the Navy. I don't know how many Navy soldiers' beliefs will collapse. I know you're angry, Cap, and so am I. But this is an order from the world government, and we can only execute it. Warring States is also very angry, but there is nothing he can do about it. In the final analysis, the Navy is just a force under the command of the world government, and everything must obey the orders of the world government. Even if he is a marshal, he cannot help himself. The Navy will be angry and angry. How? The world government has never considered the feelings of the Navy. In other words, they don't care at all. They are aloof and regard all living beings in the world as ants. In the eyes of the world government, the Navy is just a tool to maintain the balance of the world. As a master, how can he care about the thoughts of tools? When he recruited the Shichibukai in the past, wouldn't it have caused an uproar? In the end, they were all suppressed by force. Which of those Shichibukai didn't have a blood feud with the Navy? Many of them flamenco even had a grudge against Sengoku for killing his son. Didn't Sengoku tolerate it as well? If you want to recruit Lucifer, there must be a vacancy, right? Now the Shichibukai is full, and there are no vacancies. Lieutenant General, he said calmly, Big Bear has agreed to be Vegapunk's experimental subject and can abdicate at any time. And this is the news I just received. Warring States took out a document and handed it to Lieutenant General He. In the past few days, news has been coming from all over the world that the shadows of people whose shadows were taken away have returned. Combined with Lucifer's navigation route, that idiot Moria must have died in his hands. Arguably, now is the perfect time to recruit Lucifer. Some of the various events were coincidences, some were accidents. But in the end, they all turned out to be fate. Lucifer is unruly and murderous. I'm afraid he won't accept the recruitment of the world's government, right? No matter how much nonsense we talk here, we may only get a veto from Lucifer in the end. Garp said angrily. That's why I let you go. Warring States said seriously, Lucifer is moody. If I send someone else there, they will probably die in Lucifer's hands. It would be safest to send you there. After Sengoku issued the order, a warship left the Navy headquarters. The bow of the warship was a big dog biting a bone. This was the exclusive warship of the naval hero Garp. Although he was reluctant, Garp responded to Sengoku's order. I still accepted it. Garp didn't want to see the young Navy soldier die in vain. In the year 1516 of the Haiyuan calendar, the sea is changing and the waves are treacherous. In the first half of the Grand Line, a demon named Lucifer emerged, a rare dazzling newcomer since the great pirate era began. Within just a few months of debut, he became famous all over the world. Before entering the New World, the bounty exceeded 500 million belly. In the New World in the second half of the Grand Line, the situation is even more unpredictable. The red-haired pirates led by Shanks finally defeated all their competitors and became the final victor after dozens of battles. Red-haired Shanks ascends to the throne of Emperor. The era of the four emperors is coming. On the Netherworld, Lucifer looked at the newspaper in his hand. The huge headline was very eye-catching. The entire page of the newspaper was covered by the red-haired face, and the domineering power of red-haired Shanks could be felt through the newspaper. The red-haired man finally became, and Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom are equal to the super pirates. Tucked in the newspaper, there is also a red-haired bounty order. Red-haired Shanks, the bounty is 3.5658 million Baileys. He has committed a heinous crime, and he will live or die. 6 years later, the red-haired bounty was 4,048.9 million Baileys. From the moment this bounty order appeared, the New World officially entered the Yonko era. The Yonko pirates came to the New World and opened up the New World. New situation. With the Yonko pirates ruling the New World, the living space left for other pirate groups will be further compressed. From now on, the New World will become even more cruel. Pirates without strength will not be able to survive after entering the New World. Survive, it will become a real pirate graveyard. The era of the four emperors is coming. The red-haired one is the youngest Yonko, right? Cavendish stood aside with the reward warrant, muttering to himself. Yes, he is only 33 years old, very young compared to the other three. Red hair's youth means that his peak period can last for a long time. If nothing unexpected happens, red hair will be able to dominate the New World in the next few decades. A guy with a broken arm can be so strong. So who cut off his arm? Enelu looked at the newspaper and couldn't help asking about the doubts in his heart. Not only was Enelu curious about this, Cavendish and Baby Five were also curious. Even all the big shots in the world were curious. Regarding the red-haired broken arm, outsiders, I don't know the whole story. I just know that when Hong Hair came back from the East China Sea, he broke an arm. But the East China Sea is the weakest sea, and there are very few pirates there with a bounty of more than 30 million. Who can cut off Hong Hair's arm? Over time, this matter has also become an unsolved mystery of the Grand Line. Lucifer looked at the red-haired reward order and smiled calmly. All I can say is that everything is fate. The reason why the red-haired man broke his arm is really nonsense. It can be said that this is the biggest hole Oda has ever dug, and it can't be filled no matter how hard it is. The dignified red-haired man was bitten by a small sea king while trying to save a little furry child. Lose an arm. If this statement spreads, people will laugh out loud. What kind of person is the red hair? He has extremely strong hockey cultivation. How could his arm be bitten off by a small Neptune? As long as he uses armament hockey, even if the Neptune type bites him there, it won't be able to break his skin. With a burst of overlord-colored domineering energy, one look from him can make the Neptune type lose consciousness. Even if he wants to save Luffy, it won't happen like this. With the red-haired man's strength, he can save Luffy. There is no conflict between humans and those who kill the Sea King. It doesn't even take a tenth of a second to accomplish two things at the same time. It can only be said that all of this is to inspire Luffy, the destined son. However, this huge pit gives red-haired Shanks left a dark history that can never be erased. Dispelling the boring thoughts in his mind, Lucifer looked at the three Inaru and said calmly, "Okay, it's none of our business how the red hair happens. We will enter the New World soon, and so will the red-haired pirates. One of potential enemies, there are hidden dragons and crouching tigers in the New World, and there are many strong people. With your current strength, you are still far behind. So it is most important to strengthen your training first." After saying that, Lucifer waved his hand and pressed down on Inaluka Vendish. Gravity crushes. A force of gravity exploded, immediately pressing Enel and Cavendish onto the boat. Suffering from the strong gravity, Enel and Cavendish seemed to be carrying a mountain on their backs and could hardly move. But quickly, the two gritted their teeth and started doing push-ups to exercise their physical strength. These days, Lucifer has been training them in this way. Enel and Cavendish have long been used to it. Training in a gravity environment, Enel and Cavendish, the two Cavendish's physical bodies strengthened very quickly. Because Lucifer entangled armed hockey in the gravity area, their hockey cultivation also improved by leaps and bounds during the training process. Captain Lucifer, a Navy warship, appears ahead and is approaching us. Suddenly, Baby Five's voice sounded. Navy? Do they still dare to come to your door? Lucifer smiled. Isn't this just the prey falling into the trap? Did you see who was leading the team? Lucifer picked up the red wine glass and asked with a chuckle. The other party is, it's Garp, the naval hero Garp. Baby Five exclaimed.
Cap.
Lucifer's expression also changed slightly. At this time, Lucifer lifted the gravity. Garp is not an ordinary Navy. Although he is a vice admiral, his strength is stronger than that of a general. Lucifer still remembers that in the novel form of his previous life, many Haimais say that Garp is the only one whose strength will not decline due to age. This old guy still maintains his peak combat power. Who is Cap? Is it strong? Anilu asked doubtfully. Strong, of course strong. Cavendish was a bit out of his mind. Garp is a hero of the Navy, a legendary Navy man who forced Roger, the Pirate King, into desperate situations several times in the old days. The Navy headquarters actually sent him here, and now something was seriously wrong. Facing Garp, all pirates will be involuntarily afraid. This has nothing to do with courage, and Cavendish is no exception. Only Enel, the ignorant and fearless, feel nothing. The speed of the warship is very fast, and it cannot pass. It didn't take long for the netherworld to enter the opponent's range. However, the opponent's warship did not launch an attack. Something is wrong. Why doesn't the other party fire? Cavendish looked at the warship in front of him with some doubts. The netherworld didn't fire because it didn't have cannon installed, but the opponent's warship had heavy artillery. And Garp's favorite thing was to throw cannonballs with his bare hands, which were equally powerful. The artillery bombardment was still strong. Phew! Suddenly, Lucifer saw a figure shot out from the warship. The figure walked through the sky and quickly approached the netherworld. You dare to rush up alone? Isn't it too arrogant? Enelu turned into lightning, soared into the sky, and flew directly towards the figure in the sky. Bang! The moment the lightning came into contact with the black shadow, the lightning was immediately scattered. Enelu turned back into a physical entity and fell from the sky. All things are attracted by heaven. Lucifer raised his hand and grabbed Enelu back to the netherworld. He saw blood from the corner of Enelu's mouth, and the left half of his cheek had been crooked. Really? I told you not to be impulsive. You are still so impulsive. Lucifer shook his head, a little speechless. Apart from Luffy, the only one who dared to rush up to Garp was Enel. Phew! A black shadow fell from the sky and landed on the bow of the netherworld. The navy coat was blown by the wind. Pyongyang, although Garp is old, he is still full of momentum. Ha 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 ha, the lightning kid was too arrogant. I punched him because my hand was itchy. Lucifer kid, you won't mind, right? Garp laughed loudly. The clouds were calm and the wind was gentle. What if I care? Garp made it clear that he wanted to give Lucifer a blow, and Lucifer would not go along with his wishes. Enel is my crew member. I can only teach you a lesson. Garp, you are too arrogant. As soon as he finished speaking, Lucifer raised his hand and hit Garp on the bow of the ship. The air exploded, and an invisible force burst out of the air, instantly knocking Garp away. Garp stepped on the moon's step and stopped in midair. Pinching, I clenched my fist and felt a numbness in my fist. What a powerful, armed, and domineering person. Garp's expression was a little solemn. He could feel that Lucifer did not use the power of the word spirit fruit just now, but used the purest armed color domineering. Release the armed color domineering through the air, and it can attack like a shock wave. Effect. It is the only time in Garp's life that he has cultivated armed color domineering to this level at such a young age. Even without the power of the word spirit fruit, Lucifer's own combat power cannot be underestimated. Lucifer, you are really not simple. It's a pity that a genius like you has taken the evil path of being a pirate. Garp seemed a little regretful. Without further ado, what are you here for today? Lucifer's attitude was cold. Since the two sides are in opposition, there is no need to make excuses. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot about business. I'm sorry. Garp suddenly changed his face, from a murderous marine to a funny one. It's like this. The government of the world wants to invite you to become the king of the Shichibukai. This is the invitation letter. As he said that, Garp took out an invitation from his arms and threw it towards Lucifer. The invitation was thrown out by Garp, spinning quickly like a dart. Lucifer clamped the invitation with his fingers. Between fingers. Want me to be a Shichibukai? Lucifer's mouth showed a sarcastic look, but he did not open the invitation. Not long ago, Navy Admiral Kizara led troops to arrest me, and now he is recruiting me again. Are all navies so capricious? Garp's face was a little ugly. As he expected, Lucifer did not accept the idea of becoming a Shichibukai. At the same time, this behavior was also ridiculed by Lucifer. Although this was an order from the world's government, the Navy's position has been repeated. But it's the Navy's face that's lost. Just tell me, do you agree or reject? Garp picked his nose, dug out a big ball of boogers, and made an indifferent gesture. Even if you were playing tricks, even tin Garps are no match for Lucifer. Now is the most suitable posture for him. Of course he refused. Lucifer threw the invitation into the sea casually. I have no interest in becoming a lackey of the world government. It would be more appropriate for your Navy to do this kind of thing. The Navy aids the tyrants and helps the Tianlong people oppress the civilians, which has caused countless public complaints. Many people are saying that the Navy is the lackey of the world's government. That is why the Revolutionary Army was born. Garp is speechless, because he could not find a reason to refute. And the leader of the Revolutionary Army was his own son. If you don't agree, I have nothing to do with it. On the contrary, I don't want you to become a Shichibukai. Now that the matter is over, I'm leaving. Garp had no hope for this mission, and Lucifer's rejection was unexpected. How? Leaving now? Lucifer twisted his neck. So what do you want? Want to have a fight with me? Garp sensed Lucifer's murderous intention, clenched his fist, and made a few crisp sounds. If you want to compete with me, you brat, you still have 100 years to go. Who is strong and who is weak can only be known after fighting. It's rare to see the legendary naval hero, so naturally I want to ask for advice. Phew. As soon as he finished speaking, Lucifer disappeared on the deck in an instant. The next second, the sky above his head split open, and countless flying swords and long knives were shot out. Blade storm. Lucifer waved his hand, and countless sharp blade storms suddenly shot towards Garp. Come on, fist bone. Garp clenched his fist with his right hand, and everything was dark. He punched out, and the air exploded. The power of his fist turned into a shock wave and roared out, hitting the blade storm. Song, 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 song. A burst of metallic sounds exploded, and the blade storm he was defeated directly. Countless flying swords and long knives exploded and flew in all directions. Sure enough, it's not simple. Garp is the first person who can defeat the blade storm so easily. Take my punch. Garp teleported to Lucifer, and his dark fist had already hit his head. Bang! A shock wave erupted, setting off a violent wave of wind. Lucifer flew dozens of meters away, and a dark vacuum wall appeared in the palm of his left hand. It was it just now that blocked Garp's iron fist. Such a strong defense, I couldn't break it. Garp stared, looking a little surprised. It's too early to be surprised. Light sword, 8-foot Magatama. Lucifer waved his hand, and countless golden swords suddenly appeared around his body. The swords shot out of the air and shot towards Garp like a heavy rain. Fistbone meteor swarm. Garp punched out both fists, creating countless afterimages, like the 1,000-armed Guanyin. Countless fist shock waves hit the lightsaber, triggering a series of big explosions. Boom, 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 boom. The sky continues. A fireball erupted, causing a sea of fire to spread. Several luminous swords shot into the sea, blasting huge holes. Garp's figure flashed, and he kept attacking, and he actually blocked all Lucifer's killing moves. What kind of medicine did this old guy take? How can you still have such fighting power at such an old age? Lucifer stretched out his finger and aimed at Garp in the distance. Gravity crushing. There was a loud bang, and a huge depression was instantly squeezed out of the sea. Above the depression, Garp was hit by gravity in front of him, and his body fell rapidly. But when he was about to fall into the sea, Garp stopped his fall. The figure flashed continuously and appeared thousands of meters away. Ha 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 ha, little Lucifer, I won't play with you anymore. Garp laughed for a while. His speed increased again, and he flew into the distance. He actually ran away directly. In the distance, the Navy warship was also waiting there. It turned out that a battle broke out between Lucifer and Garp. By that time, the warship had already evacuated first. Wanna leave? Not that easy. Lucifer flapped his devil's wings and chased after him. At the same time, he stretched out his palm and grabbed Garp hard. All things are attracted by heaven. A gravitational force exploded across thousands of meters in the sky, hitting Garp in the distance. Garp's body stagnated and flew back instantly, but he quickly escaped from the gravitational area and fled again. Garp's body, the magic, is very strong, and the distance that can be teleported is very large using Shave and Moon Step. Ha 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 ha, little Lucifer, you can't keep me, so don't waste your efforts. If you want to kill me, you are a million years too early. Garp's voice came again. At the same time, there were countless punch-shock waves hitting Lucifer, trying to intercept his pursuit. Lucifer blocked the punch-shock waves one by one, and then stopped in mid-air. Lucifer pointed his finger. Heaven, the armed domineering and overlord domineering energy within the body surged out wildly. Sages Mahamudra. Rumble. A huge palm fell from the sky. It was completely black, but surrounded by a layer of red substance. With this palm, Lucifer not only used the weapon-colored domineering energy to release, but also used the overlord-colored domineering energy to wrap around it. The combination of void creation, armed color, and overlord color domineering. As soon as the palm print came out, it was earth-shattering. Boom! A palm fell, carrying the powerful power of destroying all things, and instantly hit Garp in the distance. A powerful shock wave erupted, and a huge wave was hit in the boundless sea. There is a hollow in the shape of the palm. Garp was attacked and was directly knocked out, like a falling meteor, disappearing into the horizon. There was no beep in the system, indicating that Garp was not dead. Old guy, if you run faster this time, we will have a long time ahead. Lucifer flapped his demon wings and turned into a black shadow and returned to the netherworld. If Lucifer insists on chasing, he can still catch up with Garp, but it is almost impossible to kill Garp. Garp is very powerful. No one is absolutely sure of killing him. As for the warship under his command, Lucifer swept it with the domineering force of knowledge. Except for an adjutant, there were no strong people on the ship. Even if he killed him, Lucifer would not get many killing points. There was no point in pursuing it forcefully, so Lucifer gave up. Soon, Lucifer returned to the netherworld. Seeing Lucifer's return, Enel, Cavendish, and the other three immediately came up to him. Captain, how's it going? Did you kill Garp? Enelu asked the most direct and boldest question. Judging from his angry look, it was obvious that Garp punched him and made him hold a grudge. To say that Enelu's trip to Qinghai was a bit pitiful. Follow Lucifer after coming to Qinghai. Eniro was beaten violently by Kazarg first, and then by Garp. He didn't have much chance to show off. No, let him escape. Lucifer shook his head. Damn old guy. I will definitely not let him go when I see him next time. Enelu gritted his teeth in anger. Then you have to train hard. If you want to kill Garp, you are still far away. Lucifer did not attack Enelu. With the current Enelu, it would be good if he could not be killed instantly by Garp. Even if Enelu grows up and wants to kill Garp, the possibility is slim. Naval heroes are not just talk. Yes, if Garp was really that easy to kill, he wouldn't be alive today. On the other side, Garp walked through the air and finally returned to his warship. Lieutenant General Garp, are you okay? Seeing Garp coming back, Adjutant Bogart quickly stepped forward to ask, "Ha ha ha ha, how could something happen to me? That brat Lucifer wanted to kill me a million years too early." Garp laughed, and there was no injury at all on his body. But only Garp himself knew that his right arm had been broken. Lucifer's last move was not so easy to catch. Garp had to cover his whole body with armed domineering. Block. If the distance were not too far, he would have been injured even more seriously. Sure enough, this kid has completely grown up, and it is no longer possible to get rid of him. Through today's battle, Garp understands that Lucifer's strength has fully grown, and even he may not be able to defeat Lucifer head-on. The possibility of the Navy wanting to kill Lucifer is slim. Even if the Navy comes out in force, it may not be possible. Can kill Lucifer. His abilities are too diverse. Just the ability to fly has already made Lucifer invincible. Blue, blue, brew. Blue, blue, brew. Suddenly, the phone bug rang. Garp answered the phone bug, and the snail turned into a Warring States figure. "Hey, Cap, how's it going?" The voice of Warring States came from the other side. As expected, Lucifer refused. Garp replied, "Is that so? But that's fine, as it won't cause commotion within the Navy." The original intention of Warring States and Garp was not to let Lucifer become a Shichibukai. It was just an order from the world government, and the two had to carry it out. But now, it was Lucifer himself who refused the invitation. It's not that they didn't contribute. Even the world's government can't blame them. "How's it going over there? Nothing happened?" "Ha ha ha ha, it's okay. It was just a fight with Lucifer. That brat is indeed very strong, but there is nothing he can do to me." "That's good. Come back first. We'll take a long-term view on Lucifer's matter." After the battle with Garp, the Netherworld continued to move forward along the route. After 10 days of going around and around, Lucifer and his party finally arrived at the Chambord Islands. The Chambord Islands are the end point of the first half of the Great Route, adjacent to the Red Continent. The archipelago is made up of 79 Yarkman mangrove trees. The ground is the roots of the trees, and bubbles will bubble up from the ground. There are towns and facilities on each tree, equivalent to 79 small islands. The Chambord Islands are the end point of the first half of the Great Voyage. Starting from the starting point of the Red Earth continent, no matter which route is chosen, you will eventually reach this island. It can be said that this is the only place to enter the New World. The Shampoo Islands are very close to the Navy headquarters, and Marine Ford is right next to it. As soon as something happens on the island, the Navy will arrive immediately. The Navy has also set up a naval branch on the Chambord Islands, so generally no pirates dare to cause trouble on the islands. But this island is not as safe as imagined. On the contrary, the Chambord Islands are more dangerous than many of the Three-No Islands in the first half of the Grand Route. Not only are countless pirates gathered on the Shampoo Islands, there are also a large number of bounty hunters and human traffickers. The most dangerous among them are not pirates and bounty hunters, but human traffickers. They hunt for prey in illegal areas, and once targeted, it is difficult to escape their clutches. Some people who come here for the first time will accidentally be killed or robbed, and then captured by human traffickers. There are many human trafficking shops and slave auction houses on the Shampoo Islands, providing one-stop services for human traffickers to capture and sell people until the last bit of value is squeezed out of the prey. There are powerful forces behind these slave auction houses, and there are even shadows of the celestial dragons, so even the Navy will not touch them. The Navy also affectionately calls human trafficking shops and slave auction houses job settlements, which means places to help you find a job. I have to say, the Navy can be so dark sometimes. He talks about protecting justice and eradicating darkness. But the darkness was clearly right under their noses, but they turned a blind eye. All this is because the Navy's immediate boss, the world government, is itself the greatest darkness. Tianlong talents are the darkest existences in this world. The Netherworld docked at GR Port number 13. This is a lawless area and many pirate ships docked at the port. Lucifer took Enel and Baby 5 to the island to buy supplies, while Cavendish stayed on the ship to watch the ship. Hey, is that man Lucifer? It's unmistakable. It's the devil Lucifer. Unexpectedly, he also arrived at the Shampoo Islands. Among this year's supernovas, the demon Lucifer is the most dazzling. with a bounty of more than 500 million Baileys. There were pirates around who recognized Lucifer's identity and whispered to each other. There was a hint of fear in their eyes when they looked at Lucifer. The devil Lucifer has a bounty of 530 million Baileys. He has committed a heinous crime and will not care whether he lives or lives. If I can kill him, I will do it. This is a rare prey. If you miss this time, you will have no chance. There are also Thorgod Enel and Battle-Made Baby 5, all three of whom are prisoners with bounties on their head. In addition to the pirates, there are many bounty hunters secretly eyeing Lucifer. To be precise, they are eyeing Lucifer's head. They are holding the bounty orders for Lucifer and Anilia Baby 5, trembling with excitement. There is always a group of bounty hunters in the world who are not afraid of death. They are blinded by money. When they see Lucifer, they only have the bounty in their eyes, completely forgetting how terrifying Lucifer is. Bold pirates and bounty hunters abound. In the original work, there were pirates who attacked General Kizaru and fish bounty hunters who hunted the Straw Hat Pirates. Phew! A figure appeared next to Lucifer, letting out a ferocious laugh. Ha ha ha! I won more than 500 million heads. The huge machete struck Lucifer's neck, as if blood would be splashed 3 feet in the next moment. Bang! There was a gunshot. The man's head exploded, and the body fell weakly in a pool of blood. Stupid guy. So disgusting. Behind Lucifer, Baby 5 retracted his fingers, and the fingers that turned into gun barrels were still smoking. Killing an overestimating clown did not scare away the bounty hunters in the dark. On the contrary, they showed up one after another. Soon, the 3 Lucifers were surrounded by bounty hunters, with hundreds of them in total. Devil Lucifer, you're done? Just go ahead and capture him. You are dead today. The head with a bounty of over 500 million must belong to me. A group of bounty hunters were talking nonsense, with ferocious faces, staring at Lucifer as if they were staring at prey. Lucifer was expressionless, showing a pair of dead fish eyes, feeling a little bored. This kind of provocation by a miscellaneous fish is really going nowhere. There is no way to escape. I can only say that there are too many miscellaneous fish in the world of One Piece who are not afraid of death. Kill them. Leave no one behind. Lucifer waved his hands boredly. As soon as he finished speaking, Baby 5's hands turned into scimitars and turned into a gust of wind and rushed into the crowd. Along with several screams, blood spattered, and a dozen bounty hunters fell into a pool of blood. Bang! 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 Several bounty hunters shot at Enelu, and the bullets penetrated the body, leaving several holes. One of the shots also penetrated Enelu's head, leaving him missing only one eye. Unfortunately, the next second, lightning covered the wound, and it quickly returned to its original shape. What poor ants! It's time for you to experience the power of God. Enelu laughed ferociously. His palms turned into thunder and lightning. He raised his hand and shot out a thunder dragon. The thunder dragon roared, rushed into the crowd, and instantly swallowed up more than a dozen people. Along with a scream, more than a dozen bounty hunters were all electrocuted, turned into coke. Lucifer looked at the dozen bounty hunters rushing up and waved his hand, as if cutting through the space. Wind blade. The strong wind rose out of thin air and roared out, as sharp as a sharp blade. Puff, 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 puff. A group of bounty hunters were cut off at the waist, and their deaths were extremely miserable. Soon, hundreds of bounty hunters all died. In Lucifer's hands, the green grass was dyed red with blood, and corpses were spread on the ground. The whole process did not take more than 20 seconds, and all the bounty hunters were dead. Lucifer did not receive the system prompt, indicating that this group of bounty hunters just a bunch of worthless fish. What a waste of time. Lucifer shook his head and entered the center of the town with Enel and Baby 5. In the dark, some pirates, bounty hunters, and human traffickers who were watching finally knew what the devil Lucifer meant. They looked at the people on the ground. There were hundreds of corpses. All of them were so frightened that their bodies were cold. A few cowardly guys were so frightened that their legs were weak, and they didn't even know when they were kneeling on the ground. This is Lucifer, the great pirate with a bounty of over 500 million. It's so strong, it's like a monster. It is simply not something that people of our level can fight against. Some bounty hunters left GR13 and never dared to appear in front of Lucifer again. But some pirates had other ideas. There are only 4 members of the Nether Pirates now. Maybe we can join Lucifer too. That's right. Those 4 people are all cadres. The Netherworld Pirates are still short of people. The devil Lucifer will definitely be able to gain a foothold and become a big shot after entering the new world. If we follow him, we will have a backer. After seeing Lucifer's power, some pirates thought of taking refuge. This is what is called joining if you can't beat them. Soon, Lucifer arrived at his destination. Number 13 GR, Xiaqi's Ripoff Bar. This is a bar, but it's actually an information exchange. The boss Xiaqi is a retired pirate, and he also has an old friend who is Pluto Rayleigh. There are many pirates gathered on the Shampoo Islands, and it is naturally Lucifer's favorite hunting ground. Before starting the hunting operation, Lucifer must first collect information about his prey. Squeak. Lucifer pushed open the door and saw a stream of blood flowing across his eyes. The boss Xiaqi had a cigarette in his mouth and was grabbing a pirate and beating him violently. Seeing Lucifer and others coming in, he showed a smile. Alas, we have guests. Welcome. I'm squeezing money out of this pirate. Just wait for me. It was the first time Lucifer saw someone talking so confidently about robbing money. As Xiaqi landed her punches, streams of blood spurted out from the pirate's body. Soon, the pirate was beaten by Xiaqi. He was beaten half to death. After stripping off all his money, Xiaqi threw him outside the house. Welcome, please take a seat. What would you like to order? Xiaqi walked to the counter and asked while smoking. I'll have 3 glasses of rum. And I'll also ask for information on the supernova pirates on the Chambord Islands. Lucifer replied with a smile. Okay, please wait a moment. Xiaqi was not surprised that Lucifer bought the information. Obviously, she also knew Lucifer's information very well and knew that Lucifer had a hobby of hunting pirates. Soon, Xiaqi put some information on in front of Lucifer. There are not many supernova pirates who have arrived at the Shampoo Islands, only 2. Namely the Thunder Pirates and the Uzumaki Pirates. The Thunder Pirates? When he heard the word thunder and lightning, Enel was immediately interested and hurriedly came over. Xiaqi smiled and said, Thunder and Lightning Pirates, Captain Bradscrane, animal type, fish fruit, electric eel form those who can. He can control the power of thunder and lightning, just like you, Brother Aniro. Humph, it's just an animal type, far from being a god. Enelu snorted disdainfully. As a nature type, he is born with contempt for those with other abilities. Xiaqi smiled and did not comment on Enelu's arrogance. The other is the Uzumaki Pirates, Captain Harnett Oliphant, a superhuman whirlpool fruit user who can control strong winds and has extremely strong defensive capabilities. He has not been injured since his debut. Only 2. Lucifer was a little dissatisfied. The number was too small. Xiaqi smiled slightly. There are only 2 supernova pirates at the moment. After all, you came too early. Lucifer was originally a member of the first half of the Grand Line, and with the push along the way, it only took him just over 6 months to reach the Chambord Islands. But the pirates who set out from all over the world were not so fast. Many pirate groups are still sailing, and they are still some distance away from the Shampoo Islands. Of course, in addition to these 2, there is another pirate group that you should be interested in. Xiaqi took out another piece of information and said, the saber-toothed tiger pirates, Captain Travis Fimmel, an animal type, ancient species, saber-toothed tiger form ability user. They suffered a disastrous defeat in the New World. They just escaped from the New World and returned to Paradise, and now they are staying on the island. In the past few days, the saber-toothed tiger pirates are recruiting crew members. It seems that Travis wants to return to the New World. Fight back again? Don't be crazy, right? Lucifer raised his brows, showing a trace of ridicule. It is almost impossible for such a loser to make a comeback in the New World after being defeated miserably. Yes, I heard that they were being chased by the Beast Pirates, but Sabertooth Tiger was defeated, so they escaped back to the New World. Xiaqi also agrees with Lucifer's view. There are countless pirate groups who escape from the New World every year, but they have never succeeded in revenge. The pirate groups that can defeat them will only become stronger and stronger, let alone the saber-toothed tiger. The opponent is Kaido. It must be that Kaido is targeting Sabertooth's abilities, right? Lucifer looked at the reward order for Travis, the saber-toothed tiger. The reward was a full 460 million Baileys. What Kaido wants most is an animal-type ability user, not to mention that Travis is an ancient species. As long as Travis FC doesn't die, Kaido's pursuit will never stop, unless Travis is willing to surrender to Kaido. It seems that this time he will compete with Kaido for prey. Whether it is Travis's strength or his fruit ability, Lucifer is very satisfied. As long as you kill Travis, you will not only get a wave of killing points, but also an ancient devil fruit. In this way, the target appears and right under Lucifer's nose. Lucifer has no reason to let go. Thank you. Your information is very useful. This is the cost of buying the information. Lucifer handed a stack of banknotes to Xiaoqi. The banknotes were very thick, exceeding 20 million belly. Alas, you are so generous, little brother Lucifer. Xiaoqi smiled happily. If you need it again in the future, please come to me and I will give you the best discount. What Xiaoqi likes most is Lucifer, a generous high stakeholder. I will. Lucifer smiled and left the bar with Aniro and Baby 5. Bang! The bar door closed. Xiaoqi looked at Lucifer's leaving figure and suddenly said, "How is this guy?" "Very good. He is very good, motivated, well-qualified, and very powerful." Pluto Rayleigh walked out from behind the bar, holding a bottle in his hand. "Alas, it's really rare for you to praise a newcomer like this." Xiaoqi smiled, looking a little surprised. "No, I'm not complimenting you, it's a fact. This young man is very strong." Recalling the domineering force that swept the bar just now, Rayleigh could feel the fierceness in that aura. Lucifer is very strong, and even he may not be able to defeat Lucifer. A man in his 20s has such a young man with great strength is the only one Rayleigh has seen in his life. Roger, this sea is really wonderful. The era you started will lead to its end. Riley suddenly felt a little emotional. Now, Xiaoqi, I have to go out and won't be back tonight. Riley said suddenly. Are you going to find a certain woman again? You should be careful after all, you are not young. Xiaoqi narrowed her eyes and showed a playful smile. Ha 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 ha, I'm just happy to see an interesting new person today and want to celebrate it. After all, the people who could hold a banquet with me are no longer here. Riley waved his hand, opened the door and left the bar. Captain, there was a monster hiding behind the bar just now. On the street, Enel suddenly spoke. With Enel's knowledge and domineering attitude, he could naturally detect the existence of Pluto Rayleigh. I know, but he is not an enemy and there is no need to confront him. If possible, Lucifer would of course also want to hunt down Pluto Rayleigh. After all, he is a legendary pirate. If the hunt is successful, he can gain a lot of killing points. But Pluto is not an ordinary person. Although he is young because of his age, his old strength has declined, but it doesn't mean that he can kill just by killing. And Lucifer is not a murderer who kills everyone he sees. This is the first time he and Rayleigh have met. He has no ill intentions towards him, so he can't go without reason. Kill a retired legendary pirate. Let's go and find these guys, they are our prey. Lucifer took out 3 reward notices. Leave this guy to me. Enelu pulled out a reward order, and it was the electric eel ability user Bradscrane. It should be interesting to see Thunder versus Thunder. Shampoo Islands, GR number 16. There is a notice recruiting crew members at the door of a hotel. On the notice is the logo of the Saber-Tooth Tiger Pirates. This hotel has been occupied by Travis as the temporary residence of the Saber-Tooth Tiger Pirates. There were many people gathered outside the hotel, and they were all pirates who came here for the reputation. The Saber-Tooth Tiger Pirates are still very famous, and there are many pirates willing to join them. In the hotel lobby, Travis, who is over 5 meters tall, is eating and drinking. The dining table is filled with empty bowls and plates. A dozen of his pirates helped him serve food at the same time, and they could barely keep up with the speed at which he ate. Hey, please deliver the food faster. There isn't enough barbecue. And pizza, for 10 more. Travis yelled. The pirate soldiers next to him were startled, and hurriedly ran to the kitchen to order the food. At this moment, a pirate soldier ran in and shouted anxiously, "Captain Travis, we found out that the devil Lucifer came to the Shampoo Islands." Demon Lucifer? Is he that brat who has been so arrogant lately? Travis's eyes widened with a hint of sternness. Yes, it's him. The pirate soldiers nodded. Okay, you've come well. You've come at the right time. I was worried about not being able to find strong subordinates, so this kid came just in time. The saber-toothed tiger pirates don't have to worry about recruiting low-level soldiers, but it's hard to find capable crew members. This time Travis was chased by the beast pirates in the New World. Although he managed to escape, the crew members on the ship were hard to find. Several cadres died, and they must be replenished in time to regain their strength. Lucifer is very famous and has sufficient strength, so Travis naturally targets him. Lucifer would not have thought that not only he would target Travis, but also Travis also stared at himself. Send someone to keep an eye on him. I'll be here soon. Travis ate a piece of barbecue and gritted his teeth. Yes, Captain Travis. The pirate soldiers obeyed the order and quickly and respectfully retreated. Soon, after sweeping away the food on the table, Travis personally led the people to find Lucifer. At this time, Lucifer was also heading towards Travis as approaching. An unintentional coincidence, but it cannot escape fate. On a street in GR number 23, Shampoo Islands, Lucifer and the saber-toothed tiger Travis met unexpectedly. At this time, Lucifer has been separated from Anilia Baby 5, and he is alone. But on the opposite side, there was a dark crowd of hundreds of people, led by the saber-toothed tiger Travis himself. Lucifer, become my crew member, follow me, and you will see a wider sea. Travis directly stated his intention to come, but Lucifer didn't say anything. He just stared at Travis with dead fish eyes, as if he was looking at a fool. How could a loser who had fled back from the New World have the confidence to speak nonsense? Lucifer took out the reward for the saber-toothed tiger and smiled faintly. Your bounty is only 460 million, and my bounty is already 530 million. No matter how you look at it, you are probably weaker than me, right? How about I be the captain and you be my subordinate? Travis's face darkened. Kid, you're going to have to drink wine as a penalty if you don't drink the toast. I don't know why your bounty has increased so fast, but the power of the New World is not something that a young boy like you can understand. I'll give you one last chance to think clearly before answering. No need to think about it. The result is already obvious. The smile on Lucifer's face has disappeared, and he is now full of indifference. You are too weak. It's better for a loser to go to hell. Phew. Lucifer disappeared instantly, and the next second, the saber-toothed tiger Travis was kicked away. His body turned into a cannonball, which penetrated 6 buildings in a row and flew hundreds of meters away. Phew. Before Travis landed, Lucifer had appeared next to Travis again. Speed is power. Have you ever been kicked by the speed of light? Lucifer finally understood why Kizaru said this sentence every time before kicking someone. With the lines and then kicking someone, the feeling was completely different. Bang! Travis was kicked away again, and 6 more buildings were penetrated. Next to it, Travis was kicked away again. The civilians screamed and began to flee in all directions. The pirate soldiers under the saber-toothed tiger Travis were already stunned. They never thought that their captain would be kicked like a ball by Lucifer, without the ability to fight back. Boom! A huge piece of building ruins was pushed away, and Travis climbed up from under the ruins. At this time, he had activated the ability of the saber-toothed tiger fruit and turned into an orc with tiger heads, fangs, and sharp claws. Damn little devil, you pissed me off. Watch me tear you into pieces. Travis' body flashed, turning into a black shadow and teleporting in front of Lucifer, grabbing his head with 2 sharp claws. The claws were pitch black and covered with armed domineering energy. After all, so did Travis. Those who have been to the New World and have been around for more than a year have naturally learned this power. However, his armed color hockey is still too weak, far behind Lucifer. Bang! There was a loud noise and a burst of chi wave. Travis's claws were blocked, and his claws hit a vacuum wall. Even with all his strength, He couldn't move forward any further. Is this all your strength? How pitifully weak. Lucifer looked indifferent, raised his finger, and pointed it at Travis. Flash ray. Phew. A laser instantly penetrated Travis's chest and shot towards the Archiman mangrove behind. Drist's arm-domineering defense was like paper, shattering in an instant. There was a loud bang, and the Archiman red of fireball erupted under the tree, and the entire mangrove collapsed. Suffering a heavy blow, Travis vomited blood, and his body shrank rapidly, changing from an orc back to a human form. After turning into an orc, the position of his organs changed. So the blow just now did not penetrate the heart, but it also seriously injured Travis and lost the ability to fight again. How could you be so strong? Travis's eyes widened, and the depths of his pupils were full of shock and disbelief. Lucifer is so strong, so terrifyingly strong. Even the monsters and the beasts pirates who chase them around are far away. Not as good as Lucifer. Travis couldn't figure it out. Lucifer was obviously a newcomer and had never even been to the New World. Why was he so strong? His arm domineering, witnessing domineering, and fruit abilities were all defeated by Lucifer. Crush. Your vision is too small. Your courage is too small. You are just a frog in a well. Seeing the murderous intent in Lucifer's eyes, Travis' heart skipped a beat. I surrender. I am willing to be your subordinate. Please spare my life. No. Before Travis finished speaking, he was interrupted by Lucifer. Phew. A laser ray penetrated Travis's chest, and this time it really hit Travis' heart. It's better for you to die here. Travis's eyes were lifeless, and he fell helplessly into a pool of blood. Ding. The host killed the pirate Travis Fimmel and obtained 46,000 killing points. The system's prompt sounded, and Lucifer's killing points were increased by 46,000, reaching 96,000. Not bad, considered a big fish. Lucifer raised his palm and pointed it at Travis's body, and said softly, "Rebirth." As soon as the words fell, the power of the saber-toothed tiger fruit was locked and captured. Soon, a new devil fruit was reborn in Lucifer's hands. Animal system: the ancient species, cat fruit, saber-toothed tiger form. This is Lucifer's form so far. The best devil fruit I have ever recovered. With this fruit, the cheetah fruit can also be recycled by the system. Compared with the saber-toothed tiger fruit, Rob Lucci's cheetah fruit is naturally not worth mentioning, and it is useless to keep it. Seeing Travis being killed, his hundreds of younger brothers were all stunned. After coming back to their senses, quickly transformed into birds and beasts and fled in all directions. Captain Travis is dead, run. That guy is a monster. No pirate dared to stay to avenge Travis. Everyone was busy running away. Blade storm. Lucifer's plain voice sounded, but it was like thunder exploding in the ears of many pirates. Countless flying swords and long knives shot out of the air, instantly piercing the back of each pirate. Accompanied by a tragic sound yell, hundreds of pirates were all killed by Lucifer, leaving no one behind. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 2,600 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,700 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,400 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 800 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased by 12,000 again. The soldiers of the saber-toothed tiger pirates are different from the soldiers of other pirate groups. The miscellaneous soldiers here have some strength. Some can give hundreds of killing points, and there are a few pirates worth thousands of killing points. All the killing points added together can be considered a good harvest. Attribute panel. Host: Lucifer. Age: 23. Devil fruit. Word: spirit fruit. Physique: Hell demon armed. Color hockey. Peak: Wisdom color hockey. Advanced. Overlord color hockey. Advanced. Killing points: 108000. After this hunt, Lucifer's killing point, the total number reached 108,000, once again exceeding the 100,000 mark. Good. Lucifer was satisfied. The pirate group in the New World is really different. Killing is somewhat famous. One can get almost 50,000 killing points. As long as he kills a few more, Lucifer will soon be able to collect 200,000 again. Killing point. Lucifer looked towards the new world in the distance, full of expectation. After taking one last look at Travis's body, Lucifer turned and left here. After Lucifer left, the Navy hurried over. Accompanied by, with rapid footsteps, a group of Navy soldiers appeared at the end of the street, numbering about 100 people. After seeing the corpses on the ground, all the Navy soldiers turned pale with fear. Quick! Rescue the injured people quickly and inform the headquarters of the situation here. The naval colonel quickly issued an order. Before they came, they had been notified that the murderer was Lucifer. Facing Lucifer, no Navy dared to pursue him. They could only inform the headquarters of the situation here and wait for the order from the headquarters. Marshal the Warring States period knew that Lucifer had caused riots on the Chambord Islands, but did not take any action. He only asked naval soldiers to rescue the people and maintain order. The Navy headquarters had already formulated a strategy to let Lucifer enter the new world and did not want to conflict with Lucifer in the short term. Not to mention that all those who died in Lucifer's hands were pirates, and the Navy headquarters had no reason to take action. On the other side, GR-25, Shampoo Islands. There was a rumble and thunder. A bolt of lightning fell from the sky and struck a casino, blowing it into ruins. Enelu stood on the roof of a building, waving the golden stick and letting out bursts of laughter. Call out. A bolt of lightning shot out from the ruins. It was a figure wrapped in thunder and lightning. He has the head of an electric eel and looks a bit ferocious and weird. This person is none other than Brad Scrane, the captain of the Thunder Pirates and the user of the electric eel fruit. Thor Enel, why are you so crazy? Brad roared loudly. At the same time, he glanced behind him and suddenly became furious. Just because all his crew members were buried alive by the rubble. Even if they were not buried alive, they would have no way of surviving the attack just now. Damn you bastard, I can't spare you. Hey! Brad turned into a bolt of lightning and instantly penetrated Enel's chest, leaving a big hole in his chest. However, Brad didn't know how to be armed and domineering, so he couldn't hit Enel at all. Entity. Thunder and lightning filled the hole, and Lucifer quickly recovered. It's useless. Your thunder and lightning are too weak to compare with the gods. Enelu raised the golden stick and pointed it at the sky. A thick thunder and lightning suddenly struck down from the sky. Brad was the first to bear the brunt and was hit by the lightning. Boom! A ball of fire exploded, and a figure flew out of the fireball, destroying a house. Penetrated, and finally smashed heavily into the ruins. Cough, 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 damn it. Brad vomited blood. His whole body was charred, and there were many burns. Although he could also use the power of lightning, his lightning was far inferior to Enel. Whether it was the explosion power or temperature of lightning, they were not on the same level. Phew! A bolt of lightning appeared above Brad's head, and before he could react, a pitch-black golden stick had already hit his head. Bang! 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 The shock wave erupted, and the earth cracked, and appeared a big hollow. Brad was beaten to the head and bleeding. He was lying at the bottom of the hollow with his eyes turned white. He had completely lost consciousness. Hey, this is too weak, right? Can a guy like this also have a bounty of 240 million Baileys? Enelu looked at the unconscious Brad and shook his head. He didn't use any force at all, and Brad knelt down. Okay, now that the goal is solved, let's meet up with the captain. Baby 5 came behind Enelu and said lightly. She had no chance to take action just now, and Enelu had eliminated the enemy by herself. At the same time, Baby 5 had to sigh that Enelu's strength was getting more and more terrifying. Not long after coming down from the Sky Island, Enairu has completely mastered the armed hockey. Compared with before, he is completely different. Coupled with his thunder fruit and special knowledge in hockey, Enairu's strength is really he was terrifyingly strong. The so-called supernova pirates were as weak as ants in front of him, and he killed them instantly. Captain, bring them back? In a tavern, Enel threw the unconscious Brad at Lucifer's feet. Oh, the beating was quite miserable. Lucifer glanced at the unconscious Brad and smiled faintly. Humph, there was no fighting at all. I didn't even use 1/10 of my strength, and he was dead. Enelu looked disdainful. It's normal. Although these supernovas are famous, they have never practiced domineering, so they are naturally no match for you. When we get to the new world, it won't be so easy. Hockey is the power of the new world. Generally speaking, if there is no chance, even a supernova will not have learned hockey when it arrived at the Chambord Islands. And Enelu is a person with the natural thunder fruit ability. In the first half of the Grand Route, Duan is almost invincible. Not to mention that he is also proficient in seeing and hearing hockey, and has cultivated armed hockey to the intermediate level, and is strong enough to crush supernova. The electric eel Brad, with a bounty of 240 million Baileys, can be considered a harvest. Lucifer hooked his fingers, and a flying sword shot out of the air, instantly piercing Brad's chest. The unconscious Brad twitched, and then completely stopped breathing. Ding! The host killed the pirate Brad Scrane and obtained 24,000 killing points. The system prompt sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased to 132,000. Attribute panel. Host: Lucifer. Age: 23. Devil fruit. Word: spirit fruit. Physique: Hell demon. Armed color hockey. Peak: Wisdom color hockey. Advanced. Overlord color hockey. Advanced. Kill points: 132,000. There is still 68,000 left, and we can make up 200,000. Lucifer glanced at the system panel, then turned his gaze to Brad's body, grabbed it with his palm. Rebirth. The power of the word spirit fruit came into play, capturing the power of the electric eel fruit and merging it into an apple on the table. Soon, the apple turned into an electric eel fruit at a speed visible to the naked eye. No matter how many times I watch it, I am still amazed by the captain's abilities. Enelu shook his head and sighed when he saw this scene. The same is true for Baby 5. Recovering devil fruit is like a fantasy, and it is impossible in people's minds. But now, it is really happening in front of them. If Lucifer's ability spreads, it will definitely cause an uproar in the world. Whether it is the Navy, pirates, or the Revolutionary Army, they will be extremely afraid of Lucifer. Just like the Blackbeard pirates in the original work, they can capture after the news of his ability spread. He was also feared by forces all over the world. The animal-type electric eel fruit is just SOSO. Lucifer already has an Iru, a natural lightning user, so naturally he can't look down on a mere electric eel fruit. It's better to bring it to the system for recycling. Lucifer turned his hand and put away the electric eel fruit. By the way, where is the last Uzumaki pirates? Have you found any trace of them? Lucifer looked at Enelu and Baby 5 and asked. No, we looked for them based on the information Xiachi gave us, but we couldn't find them. The Chambord Islands are still very big. If a few people want to hide, they really won't be able to find them for a while. Then just wait. Don't worry, people are on the island anyway and can't escape. Let's walk around the island first. Maybe we'll meet them. As a hunter, you must be patient. As long as you are patient enough, no prey can escape the hunter's grasp. GR number 19, Shampoo Islands, in a slave auction house. A group of pirates were sitting in the corner, participating in the auction. The guests nearby stayed far away from these pirates and did not dare to get close. Just because they are the famous Uzumaki pirates, and their captain Harnett Oliphant is the supernova pirate with a bounty of 255 million. Captain, the devil Lucifer has also come to the Shampoo Islands. A pirate soldier came up behind Harnett and whispered in his ear. Upon hearing Lucifer's name, Harnett's pupils shrank, and a trace of unnaturalness flashed across his face. Where are they? Harnett asked in a low voice. Lucifer previously appeared in GR23, where he defeated the saber-toothed tiger pirates, and saber-toothed tiger Travis died in the hands of Lucifer. Thor Enel appeared in GR number 25, and Brad the Electric Eel has also been defeated by him. As the rumors say, the devil Lucifer is keen on hunting powerful pirates. I'm afraid their next target will be Meth Uzumaki pirates. There are only a few pirate groups with a bounty of over 100 million on the Chambord Islands. Saber-Tooth Tiger and Thunderbolt have been destroyed, so naturally it is their turn. The tone of the pirate soldiers was trembling, and they obviously felt fear. Facing Lucifer, there is no one in the Uzumaki pirates who is not afraid of them. Captain, what should we do? Yes, Captain, come up with an idea. The demon Lucifer is so powerful that even the saber-toothed tiger Travis was easily killed by him. We cannot be his opponent. The members of the Uzumaki pirates are all scared. They have already lost their will to fight before they even see Lucifer. Don't panic, idiots. I'm not dead yet. Lucifer is also a human being and will die. What is there to be afraid of? Harnett growled and cursed, calming down the crew around him. Being timid before fighting is a sign of defeat. If Hartnett wants to survive from death, he must first stabilize people's hearts. Wait until night. Let's find a chance to leave here. Lucifer hasn't found us yet. As long as we leave the Chambord Islands, he won't be able to find us. Harry, is the boat coating done? Harnett looked at a pirate soldier and asked. The crossing is complete, and you can set sail at any time. The pirate soldiers nodded. Okay, everyone, please stop wandering around during this period. We will leave tonight. If you want to enter the New World from the Shampoo Islands, there are 3 routes: sea, land, and air. The land route must pass through the Holy Land Marijoa, and pirates cannot go there. They cannot fly, and they cannot go by air. So 99% of pirates can only go by water. Through Fishman Island enters the New World. This process is very dangerous. Every year, countless pirate ships sink underwater due to coating failure. Many pirate ships have died in the deep sea without even seeing Fishman Island. Logically speaking, it would be safer to set sail during the day. But the Uzumaki pirates were facing the threat of Lucifer at this moment, so they had no choice but to take the risk and set sail at night. After a few hours, the auction ended. The guests at the auction left one after another, but the Uzumaki pirates were still sitting in their seats and did not get up. They were still waiting. As long as they waited until night, their chance would come. Alas, isn't this the famous Uzumaki pirates? What a coincidence. Suddenly, a playful voice came. Hartnett was stunned for a moment and looked in the direction of the voice. A young and handsome face came into view. Demon Lucifer? Harnett's eyes widened, and the pirate soldiers next to him suddenly became frightened. They thought they could hide from Lucifer until night, and then leave quietly. Unexpectedly, Lucifer would not give them a chance at all. Lucifer, what do you want? Harnett gritted his teeth, his voice low. I didn't think anything of it. I was just bored and looking for a walk, and unexpectedly I met you. All I can say is that we are destined to be together. You are destined to die in my hands. Lucifer leaned back on the chair, smiled faintly, and said the cruelest words with the most casual attitude. Harnett's face was gloomy, staring at Lucifer, and suddenly turned into a black shadow and faced outside. Shoot away. At the same time, a roar came out, run. Harnett is not a fool. On the contrary, he is very self-aware. Knowing that he is no match for Lucifer, he still wants to stay and fight with him. That is not fearless, but seeking death. Hartnett is very fast. In the blink of an eye, he had disappeared and fled outside the auction venue. Dozens of his men were stunned on the spot. Their minds went blank, and they did not react at all for a moment. The captain ran away before the battle started. What should we do? What to do? A group of pirates felt like 10,000 mud horses galloping past. Boom. Suddenly, there was a loud bang outside the door. Then, a gust of wind rushed into the auction house, smashing a wall into pieces. Hartnett in the center of the strong wind, gnashing his teeth and looking even more gloomy. Hey, you want to run away before the fight? Isn't that spineless? Inilu walked in from the door, with electric lights flashing on his body and shaking his head. Just now, Hartnett was kicked back by Inilu just as he escaped from the door. Damn it, is there anyone outside? Harnett looked at Enel, and then at the calm Lucifer, feeling even more desperate. It would be very difficult to deal with just a natural Enel, let alone a more powerful one. Horrible Lucifer. It is simply harder to escape under the eyes of these two people than to reach the sky. Okay, don't run away. Now that we've met, let's have a fight. Pirates live to fight. Lucifer teleported to Harnett and said with a faint smile, "Humph, don't think that I'm afraid of you. If you want to kill me, you should break my defense first." Harnett roared, and at the same time, strong winds rolled around him. A rapidly rotating tornado formed instantly, wrapping it in the center. Hartnett is a superhuman vortex fruit user who can create and control strong winds. Not only is the strong wind powerful in attack, the defense is also extremely terrifying. The strong wind surrounding him can remove all external attacks while rotating. Go to hell. Harnett grabbed it with his big hand, and the endless wind roared, turning into 3 tornadoes and sweeping towards Lucifer. The earth was torn apart, the seats in the auction house were cut open, and everything in the tornado's path was destroyed. Wall of vacuum. Lucifer raised his hand and pushed it out, and a vacuum wall appeared in his palm, blocking the tornado. At the same time as Lucifer took action, Enel and Baby 5 had already attacked other members of the Uzumaki pirates. Enel versus after killing 2 cadres of the Uzumaki pirates, Baby 5 is responsible for dealing with other miscellaneous soldiers. Use the power of the wind? It just so happens that I have a few similar tricks to open your eyes. Lucifer hooked his fingers, and the devil's whisper suddenly sounded, "Wind blade, Kamaitachi crescent moon." As soon as the words fell, endless violent winds were generated around Lucifer, and then turned into 3 huge, half-moon-shaped wind blades that broke through the air. Puff, puff, puff. Harnett's attack tornado was torn apart instantly, and his vortex, the tornado defense, was also cut open instantly. Kamaita Crescent directly split the auction house into 4 pieces. With a shrill scream, Hartnett fell in a pool of blood. His arms had been cut off by Lucifer. It seems that your absolute defense is not as strong as you say. Lucifer walked up to Hartnett and looked at him condescendingly, his expression a little playful. Why do you want to attack us? Aren't you a pirate yourself? Harnett roared. He couldn't understand why people like Lucifer were so persistent in hunting pirates. No reason, except that I was bored and wanted to have some fun. Lucifer has heard this question many times. Many pirates who died in his hands will ask this question before they die. Lucifer always answers this question. After all, the real reason cannot be told to outsiders. But although this answer is outrageous, in some respects, it is also the most reliable answer. There is no need for any reason to kill among pirates. Wind blade. Lucifer flicked his finger, and a round of small wind blades flew out and crossed Harnett's neck. As the blood shot out, a big head rose into the sky. There was an unspeakable emotion in Harnett's eyes. Unwillingness and anger. Ding. The host kills the pirate snake and gets 25,000 killing points. The system's prompt sounded, and Lucifer once again obtained a wave of killing points, with the total reaching 157,000. At the same time, Lucifer also recovered Hartnett's whirlpool fruit. This fruit is not bad in the superhuman system. It was identified by the system, worth 20,000 killing points. One fish eats 2. Lucifer makes a lot of blood in this wave. Captain Hartnett. Seeing Harnett's tragic death at the hands of Lucifer, the members of the Uzumaki pirates changed their expressions. But as a few bolts of lightning fell, they all followed Harnett into hell. At this point, Lucifer chose all 3 pirate groups were destroyed. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Peak. Wisdom color hockey. Advanced. Overlord color hockey. Advanced. Killing points. 157,000 consecutive. After destroying 3 pirate groups, Lucifer's total killing points have exceeded 150,000. Let the system recover a few more devil fruits, and it will exceed 200,000. The short-term small goal has been achieved. Let's go. It's time to go back. Lucifer glanced at the messy slave auction house, turned around and left. After Lucifer left, the owner of the auction house trembled and walked out of the backstage. He didn't dare to trouble Lucifer, so he could only leave this place. Tell the big boss behind the scenes what happened. Hello, is this the young master? Yes, it's me, Sorostar. Something happened at the auction house. The Nether pirates fought here and destroyed the auction house to a complete mess. What should we do now? Hello, young master, are you listening? Say something. The owner of the auction house yelled, but the caller had closed his eyes and the other party had hung up. Yes, the boss behind this slave auction house was Doflamingo Shichibukai. If it were an ordinary pirate group running wild on Doflamingo's territory, Tenyasha would have sent people to deal with him long ago. Unfortunately, it was the Nether pirates who caused the commotion this time. Faced with the monster Lucifer, even Doflamingo could only endure this breath. What can I do? I'm desperate too. So Doflamingo simply hung up the phone bug, keeping his ears out of his ears and his mind out of his mind. It's just a slave auction house. If it is destroyed, it will be destroyed. Doflamingo, who is far away in the new world, is planning a big operation. As long as this operation is successful, he will be able to completely revenge on Lucifer. It was late at night, and Lucifer was sitting in the cabin of the netherworld. There are 7 devil fruits on the table in front of you. These devil fruits are cut fruit, cheetah fruit, gate fruit, saber-toothed tiger fruit, electric eel fruit, swirl fruit, and transparent fruit. System to recover cheetah fruit, electric eel fruit, and whirlpool fruit. Ding! The cheetah fruit, electric eel fruit, and whirlpool fruit were recovered successfully, and 70,000 killing points were obtained. After obtaining this killing point, Lucifer's total number of killing points increased to 227,000. That's enough. Lucifer opened the system store and found the Overlord Color Hockey system. By the Pinnacle Domineering Color Domineering. Ding! The Peak Overlord Color is successfully purchased, 200,000 killing points are deducted, and the remaining killing points are 27,000. The electronic sound fell, and an extremely powerful force appeared in Lucifer's body, filling his whole body instantly. Lucifer's eyes widened, and he couldn't help but burst out with domineering aura. The domineering aura set off a violent wind and wave, rushed out of the cabin, and roared in all directions. And go. In Baby Five's room, Baby Five was enveloped by the Overlord's shock. His brain went blank for a moment, and then he completely lost consciousness. At the same time, Cavendish also lost consciousness and fell into a coma. Only Enel was still barely awake, but he tried his best to barely resist. The huge pressure brought by that momentum was like a big mountain pressing on his back. Enelu couldn't help but bend down, sweat rolling out. Hey, what happened? What on earth is the captain doing? Enelu naturally knew that the center of the explosion of momentum was Lucifer's room, but he couldn't figure out what kind of power it was. Could it be the power of the word spirit fruit again? Or domineering and domineering? Enelu could only think of these two possibilities. Boom! An invisible air wave erupted, and the sea water around the netherworld was stirred up. With a sound explosion, the air wave finally disappeared. In the room, Lucifer withdrew his domineering aura and regained calm. Just now was the aura that was inadvertently leaked when Overlord's hockey advanced to its peak level. Now, Lucifer has completely controlled this power. The highest level of Overlord's hockey can only be achieved by a true Overlord with both mind, skill, and body, to be able to control it freely. In this realm, it can be said that the Overlord's domineering energy is always activated. Just by increasing the aura, the domineering energy can be dispersed in all directions. When the domineering energy breaks out, it can cause substantial damage to objects, and it can cause physical damage to objects. When it goes out of time, it can even make a warrior who has experienced hundreds of battles fall to the ground. Now Cavendish's strength is pretty good, but he can't withstand the impact of Lucifer's domineering force and directly loses consciousness. The pinnacle of Overlord-colored domineering is you can use coercion to directly destroy your opponent. Yes, the hard work of accumulating kill points finally paid off. Lucifer looked at the system property panel. Property panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Peak. Knowledge color hockey. Advanced. Overlord color hockey. Peak. Killing points, 27,000. But I have to earn small goals again. After consumption, Lucifer only has 27,000 killing points left, and his wallet is empty. It's time to go to the next hunting ground. Lucifer walked out of the cabin and looked at the red Earth continent in the distance, with a trace of expectation deep in his pupils. Lucifer and others stayed at the Chambord Islands for 7 days, not only to replenish navigation supplies, but also to rest. While sailing adventures are fun, they also require breaks. Before entering the new world, you must cultivate your spirit and maintain your state at its peak. At the same time, during these 7 days, Lucifer also hunted a group of pirates on the Chambord Islands with a bounty of more than 100 million. Although mosquitoes are small, they are still meat. Lucifer obtained a total of 53,000 killing points by hunting these pirates. Lucifer brought the total number of killing points to 80,000, and finally set sail one night 7 days later. Under Lucifer's control, the Netherworld drove to the foot of the Red Earth continent, then took off vertically and slowly flew up to the Red Earth continent that reached into the sky. Mastering the ability to fly means having strong maneuverability. Lucifer does not need to risk entering a new world from the bottom of the sea like other pirates. Crossing the Red Earth continent from the sky is the safest way. Soon, the Netherworld flew onto the Red Earth continent with a height of tens of thousands of meters. Under the darkness of night, only the outline of the Red Earth continent can be seen. In the darkness, a small glowing dot stood out. That's where the Holy Land Mary Joya is. Captain Lucifer, is that Mary Joya? Cavendish stood on the bow of the ship, looking curiously at the light spots in the distance. Legend has it that the celestial dragons live in Mary Joya, where the gods live. Unfortunately, I have never been there. Although Baby 5 is Doflamingo's subordinate, he has never been to the Holy Land. There are very few pirates who have set foot in the Holy Land, no more than 20 in total. Of course, except for the pirates who were captured as slaves. God. As soon as God was mentioned, Enelu became interested immediately. Are there gods in Qinghai? Are they strong? Do you really want to fight them to see which god is stronger? The electric light on Enelu's body flashed, and he was eager to try. No need, they can't beat you. Lucifer shook his head. Not only are the celestial dragons not strong, but they are very weak. Most of the celestial dragons are pitifully weak. Lucifer shook his head. They are weaker than you think. For example, if the weakest pirate soldiers who die in your hands are weakened 100 times, they will be almost as strong as the celestial dragons. Hey, 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 can such a trash fish also become the god of the world? Enelu's eyes widened immediately. Can such a guy become a god? Are you kidding me? There are so many strong men in Qinghai. He knows it. Why can't it be the turn of these bastards to become gods? In Enelu it seems that as a god, the most basic thing is to have strong strength. He used his absolutely invincible strength to defeat a god on the empty island and snatch the throne of God. It can only be said that the Tianlong people have several good ancestors. When you are born, you can compete with your father, grandfather, and ancestors. Reincarnation is also a technical job. Although the celestial dragons are weak and do all kinds of evil and disgusting things, you can't deny their power and status. They have clothes to stretch out, food to open their mouths, and slaves in piles. They can enjoy the glory and wealth without doing anything. Everyone can enjoy this kind of life. Envy, everyone dreams of it. Human nature is evil. Although the celestial dragons are representatives of extremely evil human nature, they do not deny that they are the pursuit of countless human beings. You go ahead. I'll go to the Holy Land. Now that you're here, of course you can't leave empty-handed. After saying that, Lucifer waved his hand, and the Netherworld crossed the Red Earth continent and fell towards the endless sea. But he himself turned into a black shadow and flew towards the Holy Land Mary Joya. Soon, Lucifer arrived in the sky above Mary Joya. The domineering power of sight and hearing is turned on, and countless auras of despair instantly flood into Lucifer's perception. Mary Joya looks magnificent and solemn at first glance, like a paradise on earth. But in fact, this is the largest concentration of slaves in the world. Under the ground of castles, countless slaves are imprisoned. They are tortured day and night, wailing miserably, until they become numb and become like walking zombies. This is the absolute justice act of the world government that claims to be just. I have to say, This is really the biggest irony in the world. It's better to let me give you a ride than to live and die. Lucifer flew into the sky and waved his hand. Meteor volcano. Lucifer flew into the sky and waved his hand. Meteor volcano. As soon as he finished speaking, countless huge volcanic bombs appeared around Lucifer out of thin air. Following Lucifer's control, the volcanic bombs fell suddenly, like a rainstorm of volcanic bombs. Boom, 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 boom. The volcanic bomb hit the target and exploded violently, causing a huge fire. In the blink of an eye, half of Mariajoya was caught in a sea of fire. Ding. The host kills the pirate soldiers and gets 500 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 700 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 400 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 600 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point continued to rise. Most of Mariajoya's slaves were pirates. They might have had some strength before they were captured, but after suffering endless torture, their strength had already declined. So there are very few killing points. But if you add up a little, the harvest should be pretty good. Lucifer freed them from despair, and this was their return gift. Clang, 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 clang. A rapid siren sounded, and Marigio's escorts and CP agents poured out from all directions. Enemy attack, enemy attack. An enemy invades the Holy Land. Go and rescue all the celestial dragons. Where are the intruders? Where are the intruders? Don't worry about the intruder. The captain will deal with him. It's important for us to save the celestial dragons first. If there are casualties among the Tianlong people, we will all be buried with them. Countless guards and CP agents began to rescue the celestial dragons from the ruins. One by one, the celestial dragons buried under the rubble cursed. You untouchables, why don't you hurry up and get me out? Damn untouchable, move faster. I'm injured. If you dare to hurt the great Tianlong people, you must give the most desperate punishment to the intruder. Although the guards and agents rescued a group of injured Tianlong people, many Tianlong people were killed or smashed into pulp when the volcanic bomb exploded. Looking at the dead Tianlong people with incomplete corpses, many guards and agents felt chills in their hearts and trembled with fear. They all knew that this matter was going to be a big deal today. They were not good at guarding, and all of them were guilty of death. At the same time, many slaves escaped from the cage. Come out and start escaping or wreaking havoc in Mariajoya. A large number of guards, Navy soldiers, CP agents, and pirates clashed and started a melee. Suddenly, the Holy Land Mariajoya fell into chaos, and shouts of killing continued one after another. Lucifer suspended in the sky, with a wave of his hand. Another wave of volcanic bombs crashed down, bringing second damage to this Holy Land. The Navy and CP agents in the Holy Land all looked at the sky with dull faces, filled with despair. Magma. Isn't this the ability of General Akainu? Could it be that the intruder is an admiral? No, it's impossible. How could an admiral do such a thing? Suffering from continuous bombardment by volcanic bombs, countless buildings in Mariajoya collapsed and were razed to the ground. The sea of fire roared like an ancient behemoth, swallowing up and burning every human being. Meteor volcano is Admiral Akainu's special skill. I wonder how the Navy's top brass will react when they find out. Lucifer smiled playfully, and at the same time he flashed and disappeared into the sky. Taking advantage of the chaos is the best opportunity to sneak into the Holy Land. Mariajoya Center, Pangu City Palace. Boom. The bearded 5-old star smashed the golden tea table to pieces with a slap, and the roar was deafening. How brave you are to invade the Holy Land. Where are the intruders? Got it? Who is he? The 5-old stars are all furious. In the 800 years since the establishment of the world government, Mariajoya has suffered only a handful of invasions. The last time the fishman dared to invade Mariajoya was the fishman tiger, but he just released the slaves and did not do anything. Dare to take action against the celestial dragons. Faced with Wulaoxing's inquiry, a vice admiral knelt on the ground and trembled. So far, We have not found any trace of the intruders. The attack comes from the sky, but it is night now and the enemy has hidden its traces. It will take time to catch the intruder. Waste, are all your navy waste? Wulaoxing was furious. They didn't want to hear any excuses or reasons. They just wanted the results. Contact the Navy headquarters quickly and ask the Warring States period to send a general. At the same time, we will try our best to save the Tianlong people and never let anything happen to the Tianlong people. Yes, Lord Wulaoxing. The Vice Admiral broke into cold sweat and quickly retreated. Admiralty headquarters, Marine Ford, Marshal's office. Nanny? What do you mean? The Holy Land has been invaded. Marshal Warring States held the phone bug with a look of disbelief on his face. Yes, Marshal of the Warring States period. The Holy Land was invaded. The Tianlong people suffered a large number of casualties, and urgent support is needed. Wulaoxing ordered the Marshal to send generals here. The phone bug perfectly imitated the emergency gesture of contacting the Navy. Okay, I'll make arrangements right away. Warring States did not dare to neglect, and quickly issued an order to support the Holy Land. The entire Navy headquarters was shocked. Countless troops were gathered, and 2 Navy admirals were also mobilized. Admiral Qingji yawned with a look of reluctance. He had fallen asleep just now. He was forcibly awakened from his bed. Even Kizaru, who was recovering from his injuries, was transferred. At this time, he did not dare to bargain with Sengoku. If the support was not timely, not to mention overtime pay, he might even be angered by the Tianlong people, leading to job loss. As the Sea of Fire spread, the strangeness of Holy Land Marie Joa became particularly dazzling in the dark night. Pirates on the sea, residents and pirates of the Shampoo Islands, as long as they raise their heads, they can see the light of fire rising above Mary Joa. Hey, what happened? That's the direction of Mary Joa, right? That's right. It's the Holy Land Marie Joa. Marie Joa caught fire? Are you kidding? How could Marie Joa catch fire? It must be man-made. Is it possible that someone dares to invade Mary Joa? This idea appeared in many people's minds, but they quickly dismissed it. Invading the Holy Land of Mary Joa is simply a fantasy and has never been heard of. As the Holy Land of the world's official government, the invasion of Mary Joa, it is tantamount to seeking death. In the eyes of outsiders, there are no such stupid people in this world. However, many knowledgeable and powerful pirates feel that this conjecture is probably true. Although it is unbelievable, it is not that no one has done it. Many years ago, there was a fishman who climbed onto the Red Continent with his bare hands, invaded Mary Joa, and freed all the slaves in the Holy Land. If there is one, there are 2. Although there are only a few people who dare to challenge the majesty of God. But it's not nothing. Today's intruder is the second one. Countless newspaper reporters took notice of the news and took focus photos of Mary Joa from all angles. There were also countless news birds flying into the sky and flying towards Mary Joa. These specially trained news birds all know that this is a huge news and they must take first-hand photos. Some informants informed their bosses about the news here. Soon, some big figures in the New World and the kings of the underground world. I received a suspected news of the invasion. What happened this night is destined to shock the whole world. The Navy headquarters was very close to Merigio. Kizaru was the fastest and was the first to arrive, while Akiji was one step behind. The 2 of them stared at Mary Joa, who was caught in a sea of fire. Hey, this is too exaggerated. Qingji looked at the sea of fire in front of him, with cold sweat streaming down his forehead. Most of Mary Joa had been swallowed up by the sea of fire, and the Navy, pirates, and celestial dragons in the sea of fire all let out pitiful wailings, which was especially scary. This is really incredible. Who is the intruder? It's really scary. Judging from the situation, it seems a bit like Sakaski's fault. Kizaru curled his lips and said obscenely. Judging from the situation, it seems a bit like Sakaski's fault. Kizaru stood still. Facing such a sea of fire, he had no choice but to let Akiji take action. Akiji jumped into the air, shot 2 icicles from the palm of his hand, and plunged into the depths of the sea of fire. Ice Age! The extreme cold air broke out and extinguished the sea of fire in an instant. It was originally a city of flames, but now it has become a city of ice. Phew! A ball of cold air flashed past, and the green pheasant landed next to Kizaru. Don't be stunned. Many slaves have escaped, and the celestial dragons trapped under the ruins must also be rescued. Aoji's face was covered with frost, causing the surrounding temperature to drop sharply. But at this moment, his inner temperature was also very low. Looking at the countless slaves on Maria Joya and feeling the endless aura of despair, Aoki's mood was very complicated. He joined the Navy because he wanted to protect justice, but the scene before him was obviously not justice. Akiji was very confused. Ever since the O'Hara incident, Akiji had been confused about the justice of the Navy. At this moment, he was even more confused. The celestial dragons did all kinds of evil and created countless miseries and despairs. As admirals of the Navy, they wanted to help the evildoers. These slaves finally escaped from hell, but now he wants to send them back to hell again. Is such behavior really justice? Not only Aoji, but even Kizaru was a little confused. So although the two of them took action against those slaves, they chose pirate slaves who actively destroyed the Holy Land and killed the Navy. And those civilian slaves who just ran away. Aoji, both Kizaru and Kizaru chose to turn a blind eye. This was their last act of mercy as admirals. Fortunately, it was Akiji and Kizaru who came this time. If Akainu had come instead, these slaves would have been pirates or slaves. Civilians will eventually turn into ashes. With the joining of two generals, Akiji and Kizaru, the riots in the Holy Land were quickly brought under control, and many of the rebellious pirate slaves were captured. At the same time, Lucifer had invaded inside a magnificent palace. Bastard, who are you? When the two guards in suits saw Lucifer, they rushed forward in a rage. Poof! Two balls of blood shot out, and the two guards in suits were penetrated by long swords in the chest and fell into a pool of blood. Ding! The host kills the CP agent and gets 3,500 killing points. Ding! The host kills the CP agent and gets 4,500 killing points. As expected of a bodyguard who protects the celestial dragons, any soldier has 3,000 to 4,000 killing points. Lucifer, Devil Lucifer, you are the intruder. The guard recognized Lucifer's identity and quickly protected the two celestial dragons and fled towards other passages. Run, St. Roswaiter, St. Charlos. This guy is a notorious pirate. We blocked him and asked two adults to escape through the emergency exit. However, the Tianlong people's temper broke out at this moment. Escape? Are you kidding? What qualifications does a mere pirate have to let us escape? We are gods. You're right. My son, a mere pirate, dares to be arrogant in front of us and must be severely punished. Hey, you guys, get him for me. I will take him as a slave and let him fight with sharks in the water tank. The two Tianlong people looked arrogant and domineering, and they were bossing around. Lucifer knew that it was not that the Tianlong people had bad brains. They simply had no brains. They didn't know what fear was, let alone what a threat was. From the day they became conscious, the idea that was instilled is that no one dares to challenge the majesty of the celestial dragons, and no one dares to hurt them. The celestial dragons are supreme. The orders of the celestial dragons are absolute, and everyone is a slave. Over time, they have lost the fear of human nature. Instinct. A group of guards didn't know how to explain to these stupid pigs. They could only flee in embarrassment with two draconians. Fighting Lucifer? Stop kidding. Although their strength is good, they are like ants in front of Lucifer. Lucifer looking at the fleeing celestial dragons, there was a hint of disgust deep in his eyes. Compared with the evil-doing pirates, these celestial dragons are even more disgusting. Steel gun. Lucifer waved his hand, and hundreds of sharp spears suddenly pierced the walls around the passage. Puff, 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 puff. A dozen CP agent guards and two celestial dragons were all pierced by the spears. Body. Ding. The host kills the CP agent and gets 3,000 killing points. Ding. The host kills the CP agent and gets 4,000 killing points. Ding. The host kills the CP agent and gets 2,000 killing points. Another wave of killing points arrived, with a total of 160 million. Such a stupid pig can also become the master of the world. This world is indeed abnormal. Lucifer shook his head and continued to go deep into the palace. Others did not dare to kill the celestial dragons. Lucifer didn't care. He was killing the celestial dragons. Soon, Lucifer came to the celestial dragon's treasure room. In the treasure room, countless gold coins are piled up like a hill. There are countless famous swords, jewelry, and works of art. A rough calculation shows that the total value of the treasures in this treasure house exceeds 5 billion belly. This is just a palace treasure house of the celestial dragon. The palaces of the Dracos are all like this, which shows how cruel the Dracos squeeze the world. Their extravagance and lust are beyond description. Lucifer was not interested in these treasures. He walked to a gold shelf and opened several small treasure boxes. Unsurprisingly, it was all filled with devil fruits. Lucifer waved his hand and took away all 5 devil fruits. One of the purposes of coming to Mariajoya this time is to free the pirates here. The second purpose is to search for the devil fruit of the celestial dragons. Both of these can obtain killing points. Ever since Lucifer launched the attack, the system's beep has not stopped. Before coming here, Lucifer's killing points were 80,000. Now it has reached 2,050,000. It has more than doubled. Moreover, the increase in killing points has not ended yet, and the system's beeps are still continuing. Is it finally here? Suddenly, Lucifer frowned. Under his sense of domineering, 2 extremely powerful auras were approaching here quickly. The aura of one of them was very familiar to him. It was General Kizaru. It's a pity that I came too late. My goal has been achieved. Having killed enough pirates and obtained the devil fruit, Lucifer's goal has been achieved and he can leave. Boom! A huge fireball exploded in the celestial dragon's palace, turning into flames and spreading everywhere. In the sea of fire shoots out a black shadow at a very fast speed, soaring straight into the sky. Well, we can't let you escape. If we let you escape, our navy will lose face. The golden flash disappeared, and Kizaru appeared behind Lucifer. At the same time, a laser shot at Lucifer. Meteor volcano. Lucifer dodged the laser beam, and waved his hand. In an instant, hundreds of volcanic bombs burning with flames appeared out of thin air and smashed towards Kizaru. The volcanic bombs fell from the sky, carrying the weight of the falling meteor, and the power of the flames is comparable to the apocalyptic disaster. Kizaru fired countless flash bombs and shattered the volcanic bomb, but the wreckage still fell towards the Holy Land wrapped in flames. Kizaru's ability could not extinguish the flames, and it could not save the Holy Land. Just inside the remains of the volcanic bomb, just as he was about to fall into Mariajoya, Aoki appeared on the roof of a palace, and a sudden burst of cold air. Ice Age! Ice Age! In an instant, the cold air froze all the falling volcanic bombs. Phew! Golden light appeared next to Akiji, and Kizaru revealed his true form. He looked at the black shadow flying rapidly in the night sky and shook his head helplessly. It's really scary. It's really a monster. The moment they made contact, Kizaru had already recognized Lucifer's identity. Do you know who he is? Ching. Pheasant asked. Of course I know. I will never forget this person in my life. Kizaru held his chest, and the healed scar there once again ached. As the person who almost took his life, even Lucifer could recognize it when he turned into a gray ape. Is it Lucifer? Looking at Kizaru's expression, Akiji immediately guessed. Yes, it's him. Hurry up and pursue him. He has invaded the Holy Land of Mariajoya and is committing a serious crime. If he escapes, the navy will lose its face. As soon as he finished speaking, Akiji and Kizaru disappeared from the spot, following closely behind Lucifer.